Hi everybody. Sorry, I had a problem. It was keep buffering and saying waiting, and I thought it was a internet problem. Anyway, finally managed. Sorry for a few minutes late. Yeah. How are you all? Good. Wonderful. Good to see you all there again. Happy to see you all there. You all can hear me clearly? Okay, great. Wonderful. Okay, then let's start our practice. Now I think you all are familiar with the Nolsang practice, yeah? You all can practice individually, I think, soon. Let's start from just a refuge, and I think later I think, or some of us have to add the 7-line prayers of Guru Rinpoche, 7-line prayers before the refuge. I think many of you have been watching the live. So in that we do 7-line prayers before we start the refuge. Before then there. So 7-line prayers are everywhere. We do have in Rosary, and I think many of you know from heart. So I think we can just add up that part, I think, in this PDF with the translation. So then we have a, we can have a complete of everything. For now, we don't have the 7-line prayers before the refuge. So anyway, but it's okay to just start from refuge straight away. Yeah, refuge in Bodhicitta, let us remind of the essence of refuge, as I have been kind of giving you all a kind of brief explanation about importance of refuge. And of course you all always know, but I think knowing is it's a different thing, and then practicing, really in daily life, mingling, mingle with your experience, or mingle with your practice with your heart is very important. Just knowing and then keeping in mind doesn't really benefit that much. Unfortunately, these days many people are very good at intellectual knowledge. They know, they can explain for days and just months and months, but then it's quite sometimes difficult to practice. Those practice, whatever put into the practice in daily life. Mingle with your life. Mixed with your day-to-day life. Every moment, every second, every hour, every day, every month. That is the really Buddha Dharma. When we say Dharma in Tibetan term, we call it Dharma. I mean Che. We call it Che. In English we call it Dharma. So Dharma literally means we say make. It's a, if I literally translate the Che, we call it Che Tibet. We call it Che in Tibetan. So Che is a ancient term, but these days we call it, the modern term is we call it Che. Che means make it. So make what? Make change in your mind, bring transformation in your mind, bring change in your mind. The mind which we have now is very wild, very destructive, full of ignorance, full of ego, selfishness. I mean, full of means, people like me at least. So that we have to change. Yeah, we have to bring transformation in it. That is called Dharma. That's what Buddha Shakyamuni also, in very short time, he said, avoid all the negative deeds, practice all deed or the virtues, practice or contemplate all the good virtues, and tame your mind. This is the main thing, taming your mind, tame your mind. Our mind is like a monkey mind for now, it's so wild. We can't control it. It just, it has all, how do you say, power. We have no power. Our mind has the power. So mind is ruling us. So Buddha Shakyamuni said in 3 words, very simple, that is very simple, very direct, yet it's very profound. It's easy to say, avoid all the negative deeds. We can say in a sentence, it's very easy, but when it comes to practice, how difficult to avoiding the negative deeds, not the gross one, from the subtle one, by your, with your thought, with your thinking, day-to-day life, very subtle things. Avoiding all the negative deeds is very difficult. So it is difficult, but we have to practice that. If we practice that, that means that is the dharma, that is the true. We are changing it, changing our mind from negative to positive, changing our mind from wild to peace, whatever you call. So that is the transformation. That is the dharma. But many people kind of have a, how do you say, view of, when we say dharma practice means learning, the 4th Gelong Drukpa Kunkempe Karbo said very clearly in the calling the guru from far, which we do with Sengetsewa practice always, he said, don't, what is that? See the dharma as a learning thing, Learning is different. Learning science, learning English, learning philosophy, learning. There are so many things to learn out there, but dharma is not a learning thing. Of course, in the beginning, you have to learn a little bit, but then whatever you have learned, we have to put into your daily practice. It has to mix with your life, That's the different with the, other philosophy or other learning. It's not like a school, it's a totally different. That's why we say, like, learning English or science or mathematics from a teacher and then receiving the dharma talk from a master is totally different. It's totally, we cannot see, shouldn't see as the same thing, or it's a learning thing anyway. Of course, it seems quite same because teacher is also teaching you mathematics, science, and geography and all these things. Master is also teaching you Buddha Dharma, but then Buddha Dharma is something to, practice with your mind, bringing change in your mind, bringing transformation in your mind. If it doesn't happen, then it's the Buddha Dharma, it's not a Dharma. So we can call it as a learning, learning something, learning philosophy. It's good just to know, have information. Being an intellectual person is okay, but as a practitioner, if you want to be a genuine practitioner, if you want to be improving, if you want to improve ourselves day by day, month by month, year by year, then we have to bring change. Whatever we know, listen to it, and then contemplate it, and then put them into practice. That's what we always say, 3 wisdom, Thösam Gum. It's very important that we always have to understand, and then whatever we know, we always have to put them into practice. Is very important. So anyway, so yeah, refuge. So essence of refuge, we always have to remember, the renunciation, sense of renunciation of samsara being suffering. Samsara is full of suffering that we have to understand, and then only then we will take refuge. So here, anyway, refuge we have talked last time. Just let us arise the bodhicitta mind by thinking of all mother beings, including yourself. When we say thinking, arise bodhicitta for the sake of all beings, for the sake of all mother beings, I want to get enlightenment. So sometimes we forget ourselves. We see ourselves as, we are already advanced practitioner, but it's not. We are including in the sentient beings, because we are, when we check ourselves, when we look at ourselves, look at our mind, look at our behavior, look at our attitude, we are very pity. Even though we consider or we regard ourselves as a practitioner, and we definitely, I think many of us definitely think that I really want to do good things. I really want to, accumulate good karma. I always want to benefit others. I don't want to make any mistake, or I don't want to, harm anybody. Yet by every day we are thinking that, but we have no control when it comes to some circumstances. We get angry, we get desire, we get ignorance, I don't know, jealousy and everything. That's why we are also, very pity in terms of, the way how we live our life. It's very pity, very poor thing. That's why we have to include ourselves in all the sentient beings. We all are looking for happiness, yet we don't know the cause of happiness. By thinking that way, then we generate the bodhicitta mind, arise the bodhicitta mind. We all, entire beings, and one of the great masters said, I think it was Gunkin Jigme Lingpa, one of the great masters in Nyingma lineage. He said, I think I've mentioned this few times before also, this earthworm, we called it earthworm, right? The worm which has no legs, which comes in mud and also muddy, and also when it rains, there are so many earthworms. They are also, when we look at them, always on go. They are running here, running there. I don't know. They don't remain or stay in one place. Why they are running? Why they are, always in hurry? They are looking for happiness. Even the earthworm, looking for happiness. Then earthworm has no legs somehow, it's rolling and always running for, because they are looking for happiness. And the ant, we call it, ant has no eyes. Even though the ant has no eyes, they are always on run, always running here, running there, so busy. When we look at them, the ants, they are full of ants anywhere, wherever we go, in the gardens, under a stone and rock, everywhere there are so many ants lining up, running, like endless working. For what? They're looking for happiness. So not only human beings, not only we, entire beings are looking for happiness, yet we are so ignorant, we are so blind, we don't know what is the cause of happiness. That's what we have to, think. So let us think about that, and then try to be compassionate towards the beings, including yourself. We are also same. We are a handful of people like us. We know what is the cause of happiness, but still we are unable to practice. We are unable to put them into practice because of the negative habitual, what do you call this? The pattern which we have been practicing from the beginning lessons up until today. So we are very much influenced by the negative deeds. That's why it's very difficult for us to practice. For example, if you want to always be compassionate, let us just imagine and look back to yourself. How much and how many times do we have a compassionate mind, genuine compassionate mind in a day, towards beings, towards beings, or towards your parents, towards your beloved ones? How much we have? We want, but then it doesn't come. The opposite way, getting angry, getting jealousy, getting hatred, all these things just comes, even though we don't want, it just comes because of the habitual pattern. The negative habitual patterns are so strong, it just fully, it's so influenced in our life. That's why it's very easily comes. We don't want to, we don't have to put effort to get angry. It just happens, even though we don't want. It just bursts, it just comes so easily. Whereas the positive deeds, when if you want to do something good, something, to create or accumulate a good merit, it doesn't happen. Even though we want, it doesn't just comes easily. So that's why we all are very pity, very very poor thing. So by thinking that way, we all are looking for happiness. We all we always wishing for, wishing to have joyful life, colorful life, successful life. Everybody, not only human being, entire beings are. That's why the Kuntin Jimilingpa said, even the earthworm has no legs, yet they are running for happiness, looking for happiness. Ants are running endless every day, every night, not even, staying in a place for a second, running for what? In order to, gain happiness. So we all are in same way, we all are in same, how do you say, same direction, but we all kind of get lost. We all are lost. So by thinking that, let us try to generate, just think about all the beings. It's a very poor thing, including yourself. Try to be compassionate towards them, and then try to generate bodhicitta. So that's very important. Okay, and also I think when we say, it's always very important to, practice, when we talk, and then just remain there for a short while, and then, try to do it, cultivate it. I think it's very important. Yeah. So anyway, just 1 second or 2 seconds, being silent, straight, sitting straight is very important in terms of like practicing whatever meditation, whatever, if you are doing formal meditation, or if you are doing some formal practices, if it is possible, always important, very important thing is sitting straight. If it is possible, cross-legged. I think many of you, because you have no habit of sitting cross-legged, so it's if it is problem, then it's okay. Sitting straight is very important. That has a immense benefit. So sitting straight, and then sit straight, and then think, try to compassionate, try to generate the bodhicitta mind for 2 seconds, and then we will start reciting the refuge. Okay. Okay. You always can do that, whatever practice you do individually, that helps a lot. Sometimes we have no habit of doing that, especially like when official puja happens, when we do recite, like refuge and bodhicitta, but there is no pause, just, continue reading it. So we are busy reading it, then we don't really contemplate. So this happens, I mean, for the beginner, I think, who are advanced practitioner, I think they can simultaneously do it. But like people like us, like beginner, I think it's also have to have a little pause there, and then, give time to think about it. It's very important. That makes a lot different in it. Okay, so let's now yeah, let's do the refuge together. Refuge and bodhicitta, and then you all have Damaru and bell. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah. Namo Lama Deshi dibego guncho sungi razela dadan ru simchen nama changchu berdu gyapsuchi namo lama deshi dibego guncho sungi razela dadan ru simchen nama changchu berdu gyapsuchi namo lama deshi dibego guncho sungi razela dadan ru simchen nama changchu berdu lama sangi dumeni kala kandul tinegi jwa sangedo simchendu kundandu lama sangi dumeni kala kandul tinegi jwa sangedo simchendu kundandu lama sangi dumeni kala kandul tinegi jwa sangedo. Okay, now we do the second part one with all the mudras, the cleansing. Rayam kama ige sumotu shuale jualai ruju kamche du sangze kado jiru reja kunsum so mi zangwe jima ni gyun tamje jungwe debe yun tenenga dan denba parnang nam ka saji damji yongsu kyabe du jinne samge me kya para kangwa hegyu subhava shuddha sarvadharma subhava shuddho nama sarva tathagata bayo vishumuke be sarvate ugat saparana hima gagana khaso om benzer amir kundali hana hana nama sarva tathagata avalokite sambara sambara om jana avalokite nama samanta saparana rasme bhava samaya mahaman duru duru shidaya zolani nama samantam buddhanam trahe shuri trapayat mahasamaya soha. Okay, now the visualization. Okay, let's continue reciting some part of it, and then we will come back. Today I will try to explain from the self-visualization, which I skipped last time, this first two line, and then continue after that. Yeah. So I think it's good to what you all feel. We start half of it, because then later too much, isn't it? Yeah, start chanting halfway, and then we come back and talk about it. Yeah, do some explanation. Okay, continue. Nyam dem per ulam peja godim sao perda chugoshi dorje Rol be Yesu la Om Ahum Tele Ende Continue the invocation. Good big in this invocation, I forgot to tell, after 4 lines, after every 4 lines, you have to play bell, okay? It's an invocation. So after reading one verses, yeah, end of it, we have to play bell. So we will do from tomorrow, yeah? Now 7 branches prayer.
Namo
Okay, continue. Yeah, we continue reading. Now, Nolsang. Sem jen gun gyang ma ye ti bre no nyon mo tu nge se yanam no go sum mi ge le nga isum no du jim yan be le ge andro no tam se yan be do je Lopono to perchung mata Androno Binyamaname Sumano Sena Sapegasu Amchenol things into busy Mamonol they don't to busy Chamjenol they don't to busy Lanam no I get to be Lanam no do cha to be wangi Lanam no cha do to be dawe Lanam no le dimu to be searching Lanam no le karma tab to you la Yembono tapon to be Yembono Mizan Tagi Kimla Yembono Mizan Timego Keper Mizan Bume Pang me Teo Persum Lalu Yenam no Gonur Kimela Kim Dahanul Lungai Dadaya Changlano. You are reading which text? The transcription one? Transcription or with the translation? Oh, translation, yeah. Okay, then we continue. I think little, yeah, then we do together the translation one. I think we have to add one of you missing or there is something slight different which we will do later. Okay. Mami de jila mazina tu teo jain ni de Sipaza jini ti jini selmo ire gon go permiti Naon elan lejatum dishina posen le meeting Sakarma no sen le zigi Yeto se gapin lano jini Lemi ju dalano le dasi Tekarda jilano le botham Chopandra dalano le donam Tunmi ju jilano le sila Demi tu ilano le ju Muge jua kalano le tazi Saudaji dalano la shulisi Dogir mangana lano le Bilmi gyur bulano le buji Tengen jua jilano la shingsa Kulburdo dalano la jimi Tosingo dolano la zakar Gumpo ju gosano la gor Notun dula tapono la gar Golanya gukino la gega Sinzi jene kajino le mara Le mojo dano luigi Pampo jumna lompe la nusemtur Tunmi juelundina nolingiti Temba nyamalukina no shalu Sharuda chala no la jada Zida nyamayapin la sonona Silmi de luki shano shashu Nyamto chumarunur kunzo Simbuda chanulo tile pema Nata Zapanu Chigurdo Satuji Chigitanul Jadum Jiching Tanga Punu Punam Ji Loki tul Jayaminul Tonul Mukinul Yupinul Darachi Omenul Nagu Mutandatin Safinul Zinul Kunul Tashu Munginul Shive Dursi Sonbun Naminul Dishin Shimbahanazen Jirinul Bunyami Taeta Luginul Dela Subhenul now visualizing the burned substances, yeah. Mindeshi lodami nesu Kapeshi adi sonamalu Kapeshi gado jirunuju Dembeshi shincho senden garma Akaru sishin kembayu shin Shupatanga tushin balutapa Penkartam bunyanyunyadi Sibutanga pushing mushing pushing Shinne to dipusum tazanju Minne to didin Kaveri ne Jatasoa Yuma Dana Gana Juin Nicheta Darzarin Chinich Chimerata Sekim Chanta Shinto Guiju Gazum Putang Arsum Tama Tanga Shachala Soangu Nami Surjin La Petamzi Parmarata Gugu Karnati Naso Sojina Sasun Nolti Salvete Message Chulungi Raptori Nakashindu Domber Giving Arang Legi Behemela Sipai Jiso Jisunamba Naso Jimea You all can also anyway we are doing now almost entire, so today I don't know, maybe next time you can, if you have you are allowed, or it is circumstances allows, then you can do a little bit of some smoke offerings, yeah, or incense, lit and incense. So anyway, at the same time, learning, practicing, the practice will be completing. We are doing a complete. So it's I think it's good to light an incense or some smoke offerings if it is possible, yeah. So today maybe you haven't prepared it. Next time you can prepare. Anyway, we are finishing now. Okay, let's continue. So from here now we have to visualize, mostly as I have been also, seeking at Holiness advice. He said mostly we have to visualize the smoke, because, the fragrance of smoke, it has a immense sort of power. So this is it. As in smoke offering, we have to visualize mainly that, we are burning all these different substances, and then, all different guests, they fulfill their wishes. And also, as I said before, not only burning things, we shouldn't be so rigid or so, how do you say, conservative about the idea. We can always offer whatever, different things, like all the spaciousness is full of different offerings. We can always visualize that. And then, from here, from this point, then we are start offering it. Yeah, mainly smoke offering. Okay. Ki mari wangi no la rang ju yi she sa, nge wangi no la ring sang ge sa, gosmi ge no la kusum la nam sa, chim nyam be no la lu ge kan do sa, nyam la me no la che jo sum ma sa, so ber jung no la ma ta kan do sa. Tam singem beno la doji lopan sa, se don chuk beno la che ta jamde. Tam zinang deno la tani bun posa, se na sa beno la no la yang la sa, kundi me tano la ka so kam chen sa, ting zin chuk beno la se ki mamosa. Se don chung no la yin ji don nam sa, se dan chu pe no la ji we la nam sa, ngai gen chu pe no la ge pe la nam sa, do cha chu pe no la wang ge la nam sa, cha do chu pe no la cha pe la nam sa, ti mu chu pe no la se la nam sa. No juju beno la yu la yen posa, kapun ju beno la kim la yen posa, nyam cha di meno la pe la nam sa, nizam di me go la gun kem la nam sa, rap che dur si no la si ki la nam sa, na zen di beno la po la da la sa, di che jen beno la pe la nam sa. Yo me zano la sanselanam sa, shin pero dim no la tala yen posa, san penang me no la goelanam sa, thaki no la kang la dala sa, shloki no la pala mala sa, you say no la mala puji sa, luchi no la lengelanam. Manulu sunge tapulanam sa, Linulu tinge saltolanam sa, Yela no la chela dula sa. Okay, continue. Ye mupadam paraje belanam, sahasulo je belanam, sahasulo tazo evaraje belanam, sahasulo navasaraje belanam, sahasulo ke parmita bime bami. Yeah, temo personaluyela, so go pula gunur kila kinda, tanga halunga ida dala dala, tanga hanula yala gunur losu, la hanuji mita jime gopa. Namma jishi mencho jisuna so, tanga china sansuma doyo bame, kiya hamitan diviti me sangyu. continue. Ye shin te te zamengi te pa de la mai dam no wa sang yu ji shi la na so gi no yu na men na tin tin ji sang yu ji ji de la na so gi no yu na pe ka shi ji sang yu ji ma sin kan do so gi no yu na balam dar ji sang yu ji che gyo su ma so gi no yu na sha cha na so ji sang yu ji za ri gon bu so gi no yu na kar sum mar sum ji sang yu ji la sin de ge to gi no yu na ji ji me so ji sang yu ji ga so dam se so gi no yu na che ma ro ku ji sang yu ji la na mi sa so gi no yu na pe pa yu shu ji sang yu ji lu na mi sa so gi no yu na lu mi na so ji sang yu ji nye na mi sa so gi no yu na ta san ta si ji sang yu ji sa da mi sa so gi no yu na nya ji si gu ji sang yu ji ne da mi sa so gi no yu na ta pa su ji sang yu ji ji da mi sa so gi no yu na kem pa su gu ji sang yu ji yu la mi sa so gi no yu na yan yu ga ji sang ji no la mi sa so gi no yu na chen mar si pu ji sang yu ji yang la mi sa so gi no yu na rin chen na so ji sang yu ji kang la mi sa so gi no yu na dar sam na so ji sang yu ji thab la mi sa so gi no yu na sha pu chang pu ji sang yu ji jin la mi sa so gi no yu na du sin na so ji sang yu ji po la mi sa so gi no yu na dar sin na so ji sang yu ji da la mi sa so gi no yu na chen mar pa kim ji sang yu ji che la mi sa so gi Jekar si shin ji sang yu ji dun la mi sa so gi no yu na sha cha si kim ji sang yu ji ge la mi sa so gi no yu na la shi su ge ji sang yu ji lu la mi sa so gi no yu na gu gu ga na ji sang yu ji sum kyu la nam so gi no yu na jin jin ji sang yu ji ri ji la nam so gi no yu na yu shu pa lu ji sang yu ji ya pe la nam so gi no yu na pa na shin ji sang yu ji lu gi gu sun so gi no yu na la cha min ji sang yu ji ze no lo chu so gi no yu na shin chu ji sa men gi sang yu ji shel go jin du chi na sal yu ji Okay, so now we keep there and then go back to the visualization part. I will try to explain a little bit the very beginning of self-visualizing, page number 4. Yeah. So anyway, what do you call? We say, as I mentioned, and of course we all know, we have to understand the essence of visualizing, yeah, self, why we need to do the self-visualization, why we have to, what is the purpose of visualizing. So that I kind of give an explanation before. So main thing is, self-visualization, or the whatever visualization is to, how do you say, to cut off our ego. The main thing is that, okay, that we have to know. As I said, we are so attached to this very body, this body with the, different, we individual have a different look. So me, I, with that identification, with the nationality, we have a very strong clinging attitude, and then very solid way of looking at it, which exists, so that's what, that's why we are suffering. Main thing is that, actually, whatever, no matter what we explain, there are so many different volumes of teaching, but the main target is same. In smoke puja we do self visualization of Guru Padma Sambhava. In Tara we do Tara visualization. So same thing. For example, like Jai practice, why we have to do Jai practice, like Sangat Seva. There are so many different trauma and so many different Jai practice. So Jai means, again, same thing, the target is same. What we have to, kind of, trigger, or the, what do you say, where we have to point, the gun, if you want to shoot a gun, where we have to target, so the target is to dispel or remove, or what do you say, get rid of the ego. Main thing is that, so once we remove ego, when we get rid of ego and we realize the ultimate nature of your own mind, then you are already realized being. Now we are ignorant, because we think and we believe, and we strongly believe, and we have a very strong concept of, looking at me as an existing, very solidly existent. So that gives us problem. So main thing, Jai practice, what we do, for example, in Sangat Seva, in all the Jai practices, more or less, there are different, slightly different methods. But if, for example, in Jai, Sangat Seva, we have to, in the beginning part, it's more like wisdom practice, and then the later part, we have to, visualize, we have to shoot our consciousness out of your body, and then that become Vajra Yogini. So that's again the self-visualization, and then your body become corpse, and then we cut into different pieces, and then it offer. For what purpose? Why we are doing that? Same thing, because we are so attached to this body. That's the main thing that gives us problem, that gives us pain, which gives us, which hurt. Why? Because of the clinging attitude. Just having body is not a problem, as the Naropa, Tilopa said to Naropa, Punawai Miching, Jinbe Ching, Jinba Chuching, Naropa, Tilopa said to Naropa, the existent parts, if we are not attached to it, if we are not, we have not clinging to it, we are not holding on to it, having it's okay. Having body is also okay. Having all these different materialistic things, beautiful things, nothing will harm you. The harming part is we are so attached to it. We are, so caught up with it, totally caught up with it. Then that gives you pain, suffering, that gives you miserable life. It's nothing, it's not the existing part, but your mind, which is so caught up with it. So that's why we have to, always we have to get rid of the ego, get rid of I being so solidly exist, phenomena being, so solidly exist there. That clinging attitude we have to remove, we have to get rid of. That's the main thing we have to realize. Yeah. So that's why we have to do the visualization. We have to do offering by, practice by offering your body. There's the method. There are so many different methods, but the main, as I said, shooting gun in one target, there are no, it's not like, Sengetsewa is targeting towards that path, this liberation, Nolsang is, this liberation, taking us to this direction. It's not. If there are so many different directions, then I think our life is too short to practice, then we have not enough time to practice. But it's not. It's a target is always the same, ignorant. The I doesn't exist, yet we think we exist. That part we have to remove, the clinging attitude, the grasping attitude, that we have to remove. That's the main thing we have to do, the visualization. So in order to have a proper visualization, definitely we need lots of, main thing is, as I said, if we know the, the phenomena or ourselves, it doesn't exist, if we have a sense of understanding, and then it's quite easy. If not, if we are so solid, if we are so caught up, like 100% we think then I exist, then it's very difficult to come out of that barrier. You are caught up inside that barrier, and then you are not flexible. You think that I exist, the phenomena exist. How come then? How how can we say it exists, and then we are saying it doesn't exist? That doesn't make any sense to you. In that sense, then then you become very rigid and very fanatic and very conservative. If we have a sense of understanding of things as an illusion, as I said in the first day, always we have to remind, no matter whatever different condition we are going through, different situation we are going through, like sad situation sometimes very happy moments, sometimes overwhelming kind of joyous you are, no matter what kind of the path you are going through, facing or going through every day, if you are going through a very blissful, very happy kind of happiest moment, we shouldn't be so attached to it. It's again, it's an illusion, it's a dream. If you are going through very difficult, hard time, it's kind of a unbearable time, again look at it as a dream, as an illusion. That's the main thing we are saying, Buddha Dharma. By practicing Buddha Dharma, you become so flexible. You can face happy moment, you can, the most kind of overwhelming time also, it's okay. Very sad time is also okay, it's acceptable. Why not? Because there's the life, you become so, that's why we call it yogi, and all these yoginis are very relaxed. Why they are relaxed? Because they have no clinging attitude. They are not attached to anything. No bad, neither bad, no good, no the short, whatever. There is no kind of dualistic clinging attitude is very less than what we have. In our case, we are full of dualistic conceptual mind. We are so caught up with it. That's why we are not flexible. If we face a little bit of problem, not just showing kind of a long face in a very short time, we can't take it. Why? Because we think we are so attached to it. We are so solidly looking into it as a very solidly, it's there, it exists. That's the problem. Our mind is creating it. Your mind is doing it. Then you are facing the problems. So in order to have a relaxed life, in order to have a happy life, in order to have a flexible life, one needs to be getting rid of the clinging attitude. The first thing is I. We have to work on I. If we manage to work out with I, and we kind of sort of have a slight understanding of I doesn't exist, I will guarantee you we become so relaxed kind of a person. Very, very always in a peace, relax. Doesn't matter. Or if someone says something very bad to you, oh, okay, like that's what all these great masters, their reaction, it's amazing. You can look at all these great masters. If we say something very good about, good news, they would say, okay. Oh, is it? Okay. If it's a very shocking news, they would say, oh, okay, is it? Same reaction. For us, it's not same reaction. If something bad happens, or we cry, we jump, I don't know, we don't eat, we can't sleep. So extreme. If we have facing a very kind of a joyful moment, we I don't know, we dance, we shout, and we hug and whatnot we do. That means we have no sense of kind of genuine practice within you. So that's why I'm saying that the self-visualization, why we have to do is in order to cut off the ego clinging attitude. So that's the main thing. Anyway, just I want to remind again. So let's go through these 2 lines which I kind of skipped last time, which is very difficult. I would say this is the again we are referring back here when we say kada ongzung dewi in. It's a very deep meaning. I would say it's a dzogpa chenpo, definitely. It's a dzogchen. It's these 2 line is kind of explaining the dzogpa chenpo. So people like me, definitely Chagya Chenpo and Dzogpa Chenpo is the ultimate term, which like people like me, I don't think I can explain in a proper way, but then I will try to just give kind of a brief introduction about it. So let's, when we say self-visualization here, so in Tibetan. So in English it says ke. So ke means actually when we say ke, it's a calling. It's a term of calling, ke, kai, why. There are so many different terms. So ke means calling. It's a respected term, calling to your guru. Ke, there are so many ke coming in the different texts. So it's a kind of a calling to your guru, we can say, calling to your guru. And dharma dhatu, primordial purity beyond identification. So this, it's very easy to read. This only 1 or 2 words, like dharma dhatu, primordial purity beyond identification. But it has everything, 8,500, these 2 lines, and then spontaneous and unimpeded abundant experience. These 2 lines has 8,400 volumes of teachings is in these 2 lines, consist in these two lines. So when we say ke dharma dhatu means kadang uzung dewe, we say in, in Tibetan we call it in. So in actually means if I kind of put in different classification. So in is referring to emptiness again. In means in when we say chewing, in means spaciousness that symbolizes, or that actually referring to emptiness. Yeah, dharma dhatu. So primordial purity beyond identification. So primordial, so in Tibetan we call it ka. So ka means primordial, from beginning, from primordial. And then ta means purity, from beginningless, from primordially it's pure. That's what is primordially pure. Your mind is primordially pure. As I said in the first day, we have to remove all this rubbish out of, we just remove the rubbish. Then your mind is primordially Buddha. You are already Buddha. Your mind, the ultimate state of your mind is Buddhahood. It's Dzogpa Chenpo, it's Mahamudra, it's a great perfection already. We don't have to do anything, nothing to gain, nothing to, I don't know, what do you say, get rid of it. Only thing we have to get rid of is the rubbish, with all this rubbish which covers all our primordial mind. So primordial purity beyond identification. So when we say beyond identification, there is no identification when if we have to explain about the emptiness. As I said the other day, there is no what, there is no nothing, that's why we are saying beyond identification. There is no identification. So this one actually, I forgot to say, the self-visualization, this part is given by Kunchen Pema Karpo, 4th Gelong Drukpa. So, he is, the 4th Gelong Drukpa is, it's of course, there's no doubt about it. 4th Gelong Drukpa, Kunchen Pema Karpo and Gurumboche is inseparable, inherently inseparable from each other. So Kunchen Pema Karpo, of course, even in how do you say, inseparable in the sense, or they are always together, even in the dreams, Kunchen Pema will always, the image of Guru Rinpoche always see, and the sound of Guru Rinpoche he always hear. That's what it says in the text. I was going through some of the explanation, so they are inseparable. And of course, Kunchen Pema we called it Mahapandita. He is a great realized being. So that's why the visualization in the upper part has given by Kunchen Pema Karbo. So yeah, anyway, so Dharma Dhatu, primordial purity beyond identification. So when we say beyond identification, means beyond expression, beyond expression, beyond imagination, and then beyond explanation. There is no word to expect. I think I said the other day, it's like the ultimate state of your mind, or the enlightenment, or whatever you call the ultimate realization. We cannot put in word. There is no word. There is no expression. That's why we called it beyond. It's like, as I said, the mute, or how do you say, the mute person eating honey. They can't talk, but they can feel it. So that's why it's a beyond expression, beyond imagination, beyond explanation. That's why it says beyond identification. That actually referring to emptiness. Okay, Dharma Dhatu, primordial purity beyond identification. And then the second word says spontaneous and unimpeded abundant experience. So when we say emptiness, means it's nothing there. It's not, as I said the other day, the shunyata, meaning, it's not an empty cup. It's not like an empty pond, no water in the pond, this is empty pond. No water, no tea in the cup, that is empty cup. That empty is a very temporary, I don't know, very, how do you say, rigid kind of empty. But when we say emptiness, means it doesn't exist, it's empty, it doesn't exist, yet it exists. In the union, the union practice, the skillful means and the wisdom, union of practice, it comes. So that's why the second word says spontaneous and unimpeded abundant experience. That referring to skillful means. First word is referring to emptiness. Second one is referring to skillful means. So when we say kada, the primordial kada means it's a dzogpa chenpo, it's a dzogchen term, very, very profound term. I think we can talk about kada only for days and days. It's a very deep meaning, very profound meaning. But just just for like people like as beginner, I also can't kind of go through very deep explanation. So ka means the primordially, ta means purity, the purity beyond identification. And then within that, the emptiness or the spaciousness or the dharma dhatu, within that dharma dhatu, spontaneous and unimpeded abundant experience. Also, what does it say? Spontaneous and unimpeded. So spontaneous, the things exist spontaneously. It's not someone made it, or it's not something we created. It's not a creation, it's not an invention, it's not a someone made it, but it's spontaneous. Okay, so that's what it says. Spontaneous and unimpeded abundant experience. So many things can, how do you say, appear because of the emptiness from the dharma dhatu, because of the dharma dhatu, or whatever we can say, from the dharma dhatu, from this emptiness, all these different phenomena exist. So the second line shows the skillful means. Yeah. So compassion, whatever, there are so many different terms anyway. Skillful means, or we can say compassion. So compassion and the emptiness. Compassion and the wisdom, that the first line shows wisdom and second line shows skillful means. Yeah. So this has a very, again, when we say spontaneous, spontaneous means what? It's already, primordially it was there, yet absence of solidity, you know, it exists, yet it doesn't exist. So that's the, you know, an identification. We cannot kind of point it out and show something out of it. You know, that's what it shows. Spontaneous, I mean, from primordially it's there. You know, it's the reality actually. You know, for example, like for now, we all are, I can see all of you, you all can see me. Actually, the reality of it is why we all can see each other, why we all can, you know, hear each other, why we all can, you know, like feel in all these different energy and different circumstances. Just it's nothing, just because of emptiness, because of the spaciousness, because of the dharma dhatu. If dharma dhatu, if the spaciousness or the emptiness is not there, we cannot, we all are still, you know, we all become so, how do you say, stiff. We cannot move. Why? Because we exist, you know. Emptiness is not there. If emptiness is not there, then nothing works. So that's the main thing anyway. Yeah, the first line says ke dharma dhatu, primordial purity beyond identification, spacious, spontaneous and unimpeded abundant experience. So this two word has a very, very deep meaning. So actually it shows us the Dzogpa Chenpo, or the you know, ultimate reality of the phenomena, or the ultimate state of our own mind, or the Buddhahood, great perfection, whatever we say. So the first line, so there it's very kind of a simple, you know, it's like, you know, so from this Dharma Dhatu is, you know, if we realize it, Nirvana is also Dharma, you know, comes out of Dharma Dhatu. Samsara also comes out of Dharma Dhatu. So it's a way of looking at it. If we realize it, you know, wherever we are, it's a Nirvana. If we don't realize it, it's Samsara, you know. So everything appears out of Dharma Dhatu, you know, because of the emptiness. Everything appears. I mean, there are so many different kind of explanations. So it's quite hard for me to, you know, it's a very deep, profound meaning. So you always can look at the Dzogpa Chenpo terms. And then anyway, if we kind of in brief, it's very same, you know, Dzogpa Chenpo, Mahamudra, Chagya Chenpo, all these meanings are, we have to realize that things, phenomena, all these existing things are exist, yet it doesn't exist. It has absence of solidity, you know, absence of reality, inherently doesn't exist. It exists, it doesn't exist. So that is the Shunyata, that is the Dzogpa Chenpo, that is the Chagya Chenpo, Mahamudra. So that we have to realize. So in order to realize that, you know, we have to, I mean, there are so many different methods, as I said. First, in the very first place, we have to still our mind. We have to concentrate on our mind, and then look at the nature of your own mind. Then slowly, there are different methods. Then you will realize it. You know, it's not it's not at all an easy kind of a job. That's why we have to do lots of so many purification, accumulations of merit. You know, definitely that is the ultimate, or that is the kind of a, you know, the true nature, or the, you know, ultimate state of your own mind. You know, in order to realize that, we definitely need so many different conditions, circumstances. You know, just to make a cup of tea, how much different conditions we need. You know, for example, just to make a cup of tea, we need fire, we need gas stove, we need sugar, we need tea leaves, we need water. You know, if we have everything, and if I don't have, I mean, if we are in a kind of in a forest, if we make tea with the fire, you know, by burning fire, you have everything. You have tea, you have water, you have wood, you have I don't know what do you, the tea leaves, sugar. If you don't have matches, or the, what do you call this, you know, then you can't make tea. Or if you don't have sugar, then it doesn't become sweet tea. If you don't have tea leaves, it doesn't become tea. You know, so that's just, in order to have to make a cup of tea, we need so many different conditions. You know, So in order to realize the ultimate state of your own mind, ultimate nature of the phenomena, we definitely need so many different circumstances. That's why we have to do prostration, we have to do vajrasattva, we have to do yoga, we have to so many things, stealing your mind with the different volumes of, I don't know, hundreds of different methods. It's not easy. Just simply, it's a very logic, how do you say, logic thing to understand. To make a cup of tea, we need that much of different, I don't know, conditions. So it's not a joke, and it's not easy at all. So anyway, so that is actually referring back to the Dzogpa Chenpo. Yeah. So first line shows the emptiness, second line emptiness or wisdom or whatever, dharma dhatu, and then second line shows the skillful means or the existent part. So in simply we can say the first line is the non-existent part, and then second line existing part. So existent, everything, it exists, yet inherently doesn't exist. So that we have to understand. So the third line, it says, from this sphere of equanimity and compassion, so there's the union. So from this sphere of equanimity, here actually it says equanimity, but equanimity meaning emptiness. Yeah, we can refer back to emptiness. From the sphere of emptiness and compassion, these two different great methods, like two wings, we say, like, in order to get enlightenment, we need two wings. Two wings are compassion and wisdom. So this is same. So from the sphere of equanimity and compassion, so here there is also kind of compassion led me. I appear in the form of the lotus bone. So there's the Guru Padma Sambhava, So from this, so when we visualize from the very beginning, as I said the other day, everything we shouldn't be visualizing with the solid attitude or grasping attitude or attachment, or then nothing happens, doesn't help. So before visualizing it, everything, yourself, including yourself, on entire phenomena become empty. So from the emptiness, from the dharma dhatu, then you become Guru Padma Sambhava, which is exist. Guru Padma Sambhava, yourself exists, and then yet doesn't exist. So that, and so that's why it says here, from the sphere of the equanimity and compassion, I appear in a form of lotus bone. So that's the Guru Padma Sambhava. So I means, you, yourself, your identification with, I'm from, I don't know, from China, from America, from London, that sorry. So that we forget, for time being we forget, and then you become Guru Padma Sambhava. So here again, there's a very important point. From the sphere of equanimity and compassion, means then all these great masters like Guru Padma Sambhava and the present masters like Holiness and all these Holiness Dalai Lama and all these great masters, they come in they come in this universe in a form of human being. They take human birth. Why? Because of the compassion. They have a complete realization of complete practice of compassion and complete practice of wisdom. They have completed. That's why we say they got enlightenment. They are enlightenment. They are realized being. So when you have complete compassion, so all these great masters, they we say, from the sphere of equanimity and compassion, because of the compassion, they wouldn't remain in that nirvana. For example, all these great masters, once they get they get enlightenment, they can easily enjoy and then just be in the nirvana state of mind. But they wouldn't just remain in the nirvana. Why? Because of the compassion. They have a very how do you say, strong compassion towards the beings. So they just can't, just be in the nirvana and just take rest and, enjoy there. They wouldn't enjoy. Why? Because of the complete practice of compassion. They can't just remain there. They would definitely come back in order to help all these beings, definitely come back in order to support all this, to eradicate the samsara. That's why they take, they take rebirth. That's why we have so many different masters with different, reincarnation, like 12, for example, in Holiness case, it's a 12 reincarnation. He has been keep coming to in this universe. Why? In order to help us. They have to take this human rebirth. Otherwise, maybe some of us might say, why, if they are realized being, if we have no devotion? Okay, many people say the funny silly question, sometimes silly thought, they have a doubt, why, if they are realized being, why they have a human form? They ask such questions. If they don't take human form, they cannot help. If they are not in the human form, we don't understand the language. For example, look at the statues. Will we receive teaching from statues? If we have devotion, definitely they would teach you. But we have no devotion. We have no, I don't know, no, how do you say, ability to receive teaching from statues. That's why all these great masters are coming in the form of human, in order to help you, in order to support you, in order to, liberate you from the samsara. That's why here it says, I appear in a form of lotus bone. Guru Rinpoche says, I appear, means he comes in a form of nirvana. We call it the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmana Kaya. He took the form of Nirmana Kaya, human form, in order to help you. So similarly, all these great masters are coming in this universe to help you, support you. They take the human, even though they are not human like us, like not an ordinary being like us, their mind is enlightenment. They are already realized being, but the physical form is same as human being. Why they took the human form? In order to help you, in order to support us, to teach you in the human language. Otherwise, if someone teaches us in a different language, who would understand? It's very difficult. It's a very logical thing to. So that also, really gives us a tremendous source of devotion if we think that way. All these great masters, then we really think what they came in purposely. They purposely take the human form, took the rebirth of human form in order to help the human beings. So anyway, that's why it says here, I appear in a form of lotus bone. So all these great masters like Guru Padmasambhava, lotus bone master, and then great masters, they have complete compassion. So they can't just, they can't stay and remain in the nirvana. They have to come back in this samsara in order to help you. They have to take rebirth again and again. So that is the complete, because of the complete practice of compassion. Yet they are in samsara. Yes, as I said, they took their human form. But are they same as what we are doing in samsara? No. Why? Because they have a complete practice of wisdom. When they have complete practice of wisdom, they are realized being, so they are not attached. I don't know, how much, I don't know, what do you say, the luxury life they live, they have no attachment like us, or they have a wonderful car, they have a wonderful flat, they have a most expensive, I don't know, watch or flat or buildings or car or house or, whatever. They have no attachment like us. That's why they are not in samsara. So they're neither in samsara nor in nirvana. That's why they're called great practitioner, or the realized being. Like we give there are so many different example, like we call it the lotus, the lotus flower will grow from the muddy pond, but this flower itself is, it definitely grow from the muddy pond, but then flower itself has no stain of mud. So same like all these great masters, they are in the samsara, yet they have no stain of samsara, meaning they have no attachment, You know, they have, no matter how much it looks like, it appears, you know, we see them as a, you know, very ordinary human beings like us. They have 2 eyes, they have 2 hands, they have big stomach, they are fat, they are, I don't know, tall, whatever. But, you know, family, yeah, there's many masters have family, but it's not like what the ordinary beings like us we have. They are totally different. That's why we call it, they are not in samsara. So that's why it says here, from the sphere of equanimity and compassion, you know, I appear in the form of lotus bone. Guru Padmasambhava also appear in a form of, he took the nirmana form. So nirmana means in tulku, we call tulku in Tibetan. So tulku, all these great masters also tulku, you know, they took the human form in order to help you. Anyway, so that's what there's a point of talking that. So I just wanted to kind of talk about it. And then after that, I already explained, yeah, I appear in the form of lotus bone. So now the, you know, with the slightly dreadful expression, all these are, it's a expression of Guru Padmasambhava, how he looks like, what he holds in the right hand, left hand, khatanga, you know, the different costumes, all these things. So which I already did it. So let's jump now to next page. At the chakras of body, speech, and mind, and the letter Om Ahung, from them light rays emanate, inviting the guests. And then invocation, we didn't do invocation, yeah? Okay, let's go through that. It's also, there's no deep meaning in it. So invocation is Ke, again we are calling. So Ke is in a term of calling. In the southwestern direction from here. So, Shonup, you know, we say the Zandok Pelji, Kopakala Mountain, pure land of Guru Padmasambhava is in that direction, southwestern direction from here. At the center of the Chamra continent, so Ngayabling, we call it Ngayabling, what the continent where the Guru Padmasambhava's pure land is. So that is anyway just referring to the direction in the place. At the center of the Chamra continent, on the top of the glorious Kopakala mountain, so that is the pure land of Guru Padmasambhava, from the immeasurable lotus light palace. So, you know, Guru Padmasambhava, Zandok Pelji, you know, Kopakala mountain, from the immeasurable lotus light palace, you know, full of lights, full of, I don't know, I mean, pure land means we all know anyway, divine light. The king who rule over the rakshas, you know, so Guru Padmasambhava, we say he didn't kind of passed or, you know, went into parinirvana. He went to Zandok Pelji or the Kopakala mountain, he's with body, you know, so we call it, he went there to take care of all the rakshas, you know, all this simple, all these rakshas, that's what we say. So he say here, but the king who rule over the rakshas, Padma Thotengzel, so that is Guru Rinpoche, Guru Padmasambhava, Padma Thotengzel, in union with consort, so consort Mandarawa or Kandu Ishetsogel, whichever normally refers to Ishetsogel, but the either of them. There are so many different, so many consort also. Surrounded by dakas and dakinis, yeah, it's easy to understand. Animates rainbow light in all directions. So from the Zandok Pelji, Kopakala mountain, animates the lights in, you know, rainbow lights in all directions. With devotion, I invite you, please come here. So we are now inviting it. That's why we call it invocation. With devotion, you know. So if there is no devotion, Guru Padmasambhava wouldn't come, you know. So devotion is the, you know, it's really important, you know. If there is no devotion, it doesn't matter, no matter how much practice you do, how much effort you put, I think it's very difficult to get blessings from the masters and from different divine beings. It's very difficult. So devotion is the important. So in order to have devotion, it's very much recommended. If you are lacking devotion, if you don't have a proper devotion, you know, kind of a solid devotion, then we have to do so many different things. If we really want to become a genuine practitioner, we have to read all these great masters' biographies. Biographies is the source of devotion, you know. So you know how these great masters, they got enlightenment, what they did, you know, how their mind was. So we realize that, and then we also have devotion. So here, as it says, you know, with devotion, I invite you, please come here. We are inviting Guru Padma Sambhava. Bring down blessings in the supreme place. So we are requesting Guru Rinpoche to bring the blessing down to the supreme place, means where we are, you know, to our place. Bestow empowerments upon me, you know, so please bestow the empowerments, the initiations upon me, this supreme practitioner. So, you know, we consider ourselves as a supreme practitioner, not only me, and we always have to, of course, be as a Mahayana or Vajrayana practitioner. All these beings are with us always. So we are requesting Guru Padma Sambhava to give, bestow the initiation upon us. Increase the power of the ritual articles. Yeah. So here it says increase the power of the ritual articles. So ritual articles means mainly here we are referring it to the burnt substances, as we have so many different burnt substances. You know, tunze namla nubake, so tumbe. Yeah, we can say ritual articles, ritual things like damaru and bells. Also, we are requesting Guru Padma Sambhava to bless, you know, all these different shrine and then container and all the different the substances we are requesting Guru Padma Sambhava to bless. So that's the requesting or the supplication we do here. Increase the power of the ritual articles. So now the next one is 7 branch prayer. So after, then we have to visualize and we have to kind of, you know, Guru Padma Sambhava. Now we will invite, we requested it, and then then Guru Padma Sambhava came from the Kopakala mountain in front of you, you know, wherever you are sitting. Then he came. That's what we have to visualize. Then after that, now we are doing the 7 branch prayer, means offering and all these things. So K, again we are calling, you know, K, Lord of all assembles of Vidyadhara gurus. So that's again, you know, Lord of all assembles of Vidyadhara gurus. So Vidyadhara gurus, Lord of all assembles, I mean, again we are referring to your guru. Your guru is inseparable from all the Dhakas. Your guru is all inseparable from all the different Buddhas, all the Dakinis, you know, Buddha is, all the Buddhas are inseparable from, all the Buddhas are your guru, all the Dharmas are your guru, Sanghas are your guru is everything. So here in Tibetan it says Jibzin Lame Tsoggi Je, you know, so the, how do you say, the Lord of all assembles of your guru, Vidyadhara gurus. So here, I just want to kind of highlight again, as I said the other day, we have to have devotion in your guru, you know, not having different kind of a devotion to different masters or the different deity. Then we don't get blessing. If we want to have a, you know, to receive a complete blessing, we just have a one-pointed devotion in one guru. You know, then it's same as I said the other day. Atisha said, you know, practice one master or one guru or one deity, and then you it's equal to you practice entire Buddhas, you know, thousands of Buddhas, thousands of Dhaka, thousands of Dakinis. If you complete or if you accomplish of practicing one Buddha, that equivalent, because Buddhas have no different, you know. So here we have to understand again your guru. We as a Vajrayana practitioner, without guru there is no enlightenment. As the Vajradhara said, you know, without guru, when it comes to the Vajrayana, when we do in the very first place, when we do refuge, we are referring to guru. You know? I pay homage to guru and Buddha, then Dharma, then Sangha comes. Why? Because Buddha, Dharma and Sangha is inseparable from your guru. So simply we have to understand, you know, we always say like, we say in Tibetan, you know, the knowledge is, you know, knowledge of your guru is equal to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You know, there is no difference. Knowledge of your guru knowledge of Buddha, all these different Buddhas are same, that there is no, it's equal. There is no different, there is no like, my guru has less knowledge and then Buddhas have more knowledge, or Buddha has less knowledge and my guru has more knowledge. It's equal, it says. But the gratitude of your, gratitude is far greater than all the Buddhas. The gratitude of your guru is far greater, much more than all these Buddhas. As I said the other day, all these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the past, so many thousands of Buddhas they had come in this universe, but we had no luck or no fortune to see them, and also in future they will come. But now, who show you the liberation, path of liberation, is your guru. So your guru is inseparable from all the Buddhas, Buddha, Daka, Dakini, I don't know, all this, everything is inseparable from your guru. So knowledge is equal, we have verses of saying that, knowledge of your guru is equal to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, but the gratitude is far, the gratitude of your guru is far greater, much more than all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That's why we have to, it says here in this 7th branch, Lord of all assembled, all assembles of Vidya, there are gurus, protector at the center of all mandala circles. So means anyway, everything, all these mandala, or the protector of the mandalas are also referring to your guru. Male consort of all mamos and dakinis. So male consort, male consort of all mamos and dakinis. Yeah. So here, particularly, we are referring to Guru Padmasambhava, which is inseparable from your guru. Mamos and dakinis. I praise you, lotus born. So we are praising it. I praise you, lotus born, Guru Padmasambhava, with outer, inner, cigarette and the offerings of suchness. So we are offering. So we call branch 7 branch. Yeah. First thing is we have to do prostration. So that is, I praise, mean actually that was prostration. We pay homage. And then second thing is now the offering comes. So outer offerings are all these outer offering like water, water, flour, incense, food, car, aeroplane, supermarket. I don't know, the whatever, all these different things, all these outer materialistic things we have to offer, like garden, park, trees, flowers, everything, which we shouldn't be conservative in that way. We sometimes we become so kind of very fanatic when we say offerings. Outer offerings means argam, pata, water, 2 bowls of water, and then one single kind of piece of flour, and then one one incense, and then kind of that's very, very, very how the narrow way of looking at the offerings. Everything we have to offer as vast as possible, as much as possible. Okay, so outer offerings mean all these materialistic things we have to offer, like gold, diamond, clothing, like in these days the most expensive things, like all these branded things, what do you call this, Louis Vuitton bags, Louis Vuitton, I don't know, shoe, bag, all this, that we have to offer because we like it. Who don't like the brand things? And then I don't know, what do you call this, like all these different cars, with the different brain. These all are the outer offerings we have to offer. And then inner offering is like shanga dutsinga, we say, like the nectar, 5 nectars and 5, all these are like more inner offerings. And then the cigarette offering is, we call it the Rigma Jutuk, like we offer all this consort, different consort, all the dakinis, what do you call this, Rigma Jutuk, consort to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. That is the cigarette offering, we call it. So these all are we are offering. And then offering of suchness, Tekonangiki, means suchness means the ultimate reality. So again, referring back to the Mahamudra or the union or the Shunyata. So we are offering the suchness or the reality of the true nature of your own mind or true nature of all the phenomena, that we are also offering. All offerings, articles emanated by Samanta Bhadra. So here, all offering, there is more, all offering articles animated by Samanta Badra. So many different texts always mention Samanta Badra. So here Samanta Badra is a Bodhisattva Samanta Badra. So Samanta Badra, Buddha Samanta Badra and Bodhisattva Samanta Badra is little different, but anyway, ultimately there is no different, but relatively we differentiate. Bodhisattva Samanta Badra and then Buddha Samanta Badras. Here we are relating to the Bodhisattva Samanta Badra. So Bodhisattva Samanta Badra's offering is, we cannot compare with any of the, because of his grand, Bodhisattva says grand intention of, offering everything, including your body, as I said the other day, when we do practice of the 6 parameters, we have to even give your eyes if someone needed your body, you are definitely your wife and your children, no doubt about it, including your body, your eyes you have to offer to others, your skin, your hands, your fingers you have to offer to others. So Bodhisattva Samanta Badra's offering is kind of it's immense, it's equivalent, how do you say, inequivalent to any of the other offerings. That's why we always referring to the Bodhisattva Samanta Badra's offering. So here all offering articles animated by Samanta Badra in his clouds of offering. Clouds is an example, clouds means like special, a lot, clouds of offering. Likewise, I offer you what the Bodhisattva Samanta Badra, offering is. So I also, likewise, what his offering looks like, I also offer what he offers. I look like, how do you say? Likewise, I also offer all this, immense kind of, vast kind of offering. I offer to Guru Padma Sambhava, Guru Padma Sambhava, Guru Rinpoche, and all the entourage I also offer. From beginningless time until now, all misdeeds of transgression and moral corruption I committed myself. Encouraged others to do, and the ones I rejoiced in your presence, I confess them all. So the first is the pay homage, Chaksalwa Chupabulwa Dikpashapa. The third one is the confession. So this is, I think it's very important. So from beginningless time until today, not only in this life, from beginningless until today, all misdeeds we have been accumulating, so many misdeeds of transgression and moral corruption, like the vows, and we are violating so many vows and so many discipline and all this moral corruption. I committed myself, I myself did it, and also encouraged others to do, like encouraging others to do. That's what we do sometimes, like a very smart people, they wouldn't do by themselves, but they indirectly ask someone to do, and then ask someone to, I don't know, harm others, do bad things to others, insult others. We use other people to, do something bad to other people. That is very bad. So here it says, encourage others to do, and the ones I rejoiced in. I think this is very, very risky or very dangerous, I would say, Ones I rejoiced in, for example, let's say, I think we very unknowingly we do it, for example, if someone kind of punch someone else, or maybe say something bad about some people, and then we just say, very good, without even thinking, without even a second thought, we say, oh, very good, he did that, or maybe we may hear, or someone beated him, or scolded him. Oh, that's very good. Oh, he should be beaten, he should be scolded. Yeah, that's we say he deserve it. So just by saying it, we are rejoicing in bad things, Someone beated him, and then we rejoice. Oh, very good, he deserve it. He's a very bad guy. She's a very good, I don't know. That's what we rejoice. It's a very bad, even though you didn't use your hand to beat someone else's, but by just rejoicing it become equivalent, Someone really beat it somebody very badly, and then you rejoice in that bad deed, and then you accumulate bad karma equivalent to the person who really beated him. It's a very bad thing. I think we have to be very conscious. That's why we always talk about the mindfulness all the time, 24 hours. Please be mindful. Our mind is like a wildlife animal. We unknowingly, we can rejoice very easily. That's why all these great sutras say, when we accumulate the bed merit, we very joyously laughing, we are laughing, we can joyously can accumulate the bed merit. But when we get the result of bed merit, we have to cry. That's very true. For example, like eating meat in a restaurant, anyway, let me throw a party. Okay, we all go, I invite all of you, and then let's go to a 5-star hotel and have, let's host a dinner. And then I would order, 20 chickens or the fish or whatnot, and then while we are enjoying, while we are eating it, we all laugh and we all, dance. And, that's why we say, when we accumulate our bed merit, we joyously we are accumulating it. Oh, we don't even think, just eating, talking, enjoying, laughing, dancing, we don't have a thought of, okay, this is a chicken, okay, it's a life, okay, we have no thought of it. So, joyously we have accumulated bad karma. And then when we get back the karma, when we receive the result of the bad karma, what we would experience, or then someone will catch you and cut you on the chopping board. So we have to cry. You will be crying out loud. You will be crying. You are begging and asking and crying for, to save your life. Then no one will help you. That's you deserve it, because when you accumulated bad karma, you joyously, you didn't even think about the chicken or the small insect on your plate. It's alive. He or she is suffering. We never thought about it. We are partying, enjoying, dancing, shouting, like laughing. So when you receive it, that's the reality of the, that's why we call it karmic cause and effect. Karmic law will never, how do you say, give you, there is no corruption. There is no corruption. You have to receive it. You have to experience it. So anyway, so as I said, why I said here is like, unknowingly we do it. Like, for example, as I said, someone beat someone else, and we say, oh, very good, he deserve it, she deserve it. Very easily we would say, because you yourself didn't beat it. Someone insulting him, someone is fighting with her, oh, very good, she's very bad girl, she deserve it. Everybody has to fight with her, scold her. So we very easily say it. So that's why it says here, and the ones I rejoiced in. Someone is creating bad karma and I rejoiced. So you get the 100% of what the other person got, the how do you say, bad virtues or the bad deed. How much the person who really beat it someone else and then accumulated bad karma, you get the same amount of bad karma or the bad merit. Yeah. So this is very important. I think we have to be very seriously think about all these things when we deal with different things. How our emotions work, where is our mind. That's why we always have to be mindful. Okay, then the ones I rejoiced in your presence, I confess all them. I confess them all. So we are in front of Guru Rinpoche, you are confessing. So when we say confess, it's not like, I confess, okay, I confess. Then nothing happens, We have to confess from your depth of heart, crying, I have accumulated that much of merit. In the past life, unfortunately, we forget, we can't remember. But in this life, from the child, from the point you remember what you have been going through, or how much bad karma you have accumulated, how much bad negative thought you have, that all you have to remember, and then you have to feel regret, not guilty. Okay, I think guilt and the regret has a different meaning. Guilt means then you feel, I think in Western countries, I don't know, in Himalayas is not very common, but I have heard a lot about the people feel guilty in Western countries. Means then you feel very bad about yourself, then I don't know, many people commit suicide. That is not the case. Regret means regretting, I have done that from your depth of heart. Now I understand and I realize, I confess from my depth of heart, from now onwards I would never do. Then having a very strong commitment, then the sinful deed, no matter how bad karma, except let me say this, except from the what do you call this, 5 heinous deed actions. Yeah, you all know the 5 heinous action. Except from 5 heinous action, whatever negative karma you have accumulated, everything can be purified if only you confess from your depth of heart with the regret, full regret, in front of your guru, in front of Guru Rinpoche, you regret. So that's why we say, the good thing about the sinful sin, dikpa, good thing about the sinful deed is we can purify. That's the great thing about it. If there is no purification, what would we do once you did it? And then we have to, how do you say, that karma have to repay, we have to experience it. It's not, we can purify. That's especially in Vajrayana, there are so many methods of purifying except for 5 heinous deed, which is, I think many of you know, we call it also sin of evil acts, like killing one's mother, your own mother, your father, killing arhat, 3, yeah, and then causing, what do you call this, causing shame in the sangha. I mean, splitting the among the sangha, making different groups. Splitting is a very, very bad deed, especially in the bhikshu and bhikshunis, they say gedun. And then and the last one is drawing blood from the Tathagata with evil intent. So that is the 5 heinous deed. So these are very extreme. Anyway, I don't think we would do such things in this life. I don't think we have a kind of a intention of all these deeds, which are very extreme. Apart from this 5, if you accumulate this 5 heinous deed, then you have to go in hell realm. That there is no, we call it in Tibetan, we call it tsamme. So there is no border. There is not even a bardo. You straightly, as soon as you die, you die, you will straightly go to the hell realm. That's why we call it tsamme. Tsam means, in Tibetan we call it tsam. Tsam means border. Me means no border. No border means no bardo. When you die, if you have accumulated 5 heinous deed, 5 heinous action, killing your father, mother, arhat, drawing the blood from the Tathagatas with evil mind or evil intention, and then splitting the what do you call the sangha, splitting sangha, or the splitting the between bhikshunis. It's in a different group. If you have done that, then you have no bardo. You will go straight to the hell realm. Except from these 5 heinous deed, whatever you have done, very bad thought, very bad karma, very sinful deed, with the confession, everything can purify. That's the great thing about it. That's we call it yontan of the sinful. The good thing about the sinful deed is we can purify. So there is a method, we don't have to feel so regret and so hopeless and commit suicide because I have done so bad thing in my life. Now it's finished. It's not finished. You have solution. You have method. Like Milarepa, Milarepa is an example until today. From the time he got enlightenment until today, he is a great yogi. He has killed how many people? Human beings. He killed human beings. 35 of them. He killed it. It's unbelievable, like how bad karma he have accumulated. But he purified. He got enlightenment within in his life. Why? Because he had did the confession, with one devotion towards his guru, and one pointedly confess from his depth of heart with crying. So if we do that, we can confess. That's the great thing about it. Anyway, so here, in the 7th branch, the confession comes. This is very important also, I think, in our life, day-to-day life, because, as I said, we in the morning when we get up, we always have to really kind of take a very strong commitment today, until I, if I don't die, until I sleep, I will try my best not to harm anybody, not to show my long face to anybody. I will try my best to help others as much as possible. That's commitment we always have to do. But we as an ordinary being, we as a, how do you say, ordinary being, definitely we will have a, some cause and condition make us angry, make us jealousy, make us hatred. Many things happens in a day, but doesn't matter. We have a solution. We have a method of confessing and then purify it at the end of the day. That's the great thing about. So we don't have to feel hopeless or very hopeless. Now there is no hope. I commit suicide. That's not the solution, or not the, what do you call it? Not the way as a practitioner I have to live. Of course, it bound to happen so many, to accumulate so many bad deeds, but there is a solution. So let's do the solution with one point in mind. Then we can confess and we can purify everything. Anyway, so there's the confession. And then I rejoice. Yeah. Then the fourth one is I rejoice in all virtues. So this is again a very important point. Rejoicing. So it says in the text, merit of rejoicing is, I don't know how to translate literally, but I would say merit of rejoicing is not a joke. It's an amazing thing if you manage to do it. You just have to sit there very relaxedly. You don't have to do generosity practice. You don't have to do morality practice. You don't have to do passion practice. You just sit there. Someone is, for example, someone is offering, let's say, like 1 million USD, US dollar to one of the great master. You don't have money. You have no money. You have nothing to offer. So instead of, we have to rejoice. Or someone is offering it. Oh, so great! From your depth of heart, how great she is, how great he is. He is that capable, and also he has a generosity practice. He is offering 1 million USD to this great master. How wonderful! From your depth of heart, you rejoice, and then you accumulate you get 100%. There's a profit out of just rejoicing. But unfortunately, people like us, we have not. It's very hard to rejoice. Because of the jealousy. We have a very strong influence, jealousy within us. So if someone is offering $100 million to a great master, what we would say? We wouldn't say it's a great thing. We would say, showing off. She is showing off. He is showing off. We would say something bad about it. That is the nature of unfortunate human beings. It's a very bad, very unfortunate. These kind of things we have to really bring change. There's a huge amount of, how do you say, the profit we can take. Just do nothing, just be there and rejoice. Rejoice in the people. Look, someone is looking so good, so young, so good, wonderful. Or rejoice, I have no good look, but then rejoice. Oh, wonderful, how she or he had really accumulated great merit in his or her past life. That's why she has a wonderful look, wonderful body, fitness. I don't know, eyes are amazing, the skin type. Oh, she look wonderful. But we wouldn't say that. People like us, I would say, unfortunate people like us, we have no we have no sort of rejoicing in the good merit. So if we manage to do it, it's an amazing thing. You don't have to offer $100 million. You have a very bad look, doesn't matter. You rejoice, and then you accumulate the same merit as the other people do. That's why it's a great, like Holiness was teaching. I think we all we heard from Holiness also sometimes. Many of you have heard the Holiness gurus. Holiness's gurus. One of his gurus always, whoever comes to the guru, he would, pick up a, good thing about that person. If she's nothing, he or she, whoever comes to, receive his blessings, he's in front of him, he would pick up a good point about it and then praise it. If someone has a long hair, he would say, oh, how wonderful, she has a long hair, looks beautiful, rejoice. he would say that. I mean, people like us, we wouldn't say, you know, we don't even notice why, because of the bad influence in our mind. So that Great Holiness was telling, I mean, you know, sharing with all of us, you know, he would pick up the only long hair, you know, just having long hair. Oh, it looks beautiful. That means practicing rejoice. You know, it's an amazing thing. And then someone, I don't know, comes with a, you know, someone is very tall, again we have to praise. Someone is short, again we have to praise, you know. So if we don't, I mean, these are, I think, great masters quality. There's the great quality of the great masters, you know, all this. And also we also, many people have that quality, which is wonderful. We have to improve it. If you have it, improve it, and then try to, you know, like every point, try to pick up other people good thing, you know, instead of pointing bad thing. We have a tendency of always pointing bad thing, you know. Good thing we always want to hide, you know. If someone says, oh, she's very intellectual, she's very good, she's very kind, or then I would say, yeah, she's kind, but, you know, but comes, you know, but she is something, you know, she is something, you know, we always comes there, which is a very bad tendency, or, you know, habitual pattern, which kind of imprint in our mind, which is a very bad thing. We accumulate unknowingly, you know, by, we are doing nothing but unknowingly within your mind, you know, so many, all these funny things, silly thought comes, and then we accumulate it unknowingly, very bad karma. So this slightly kind of a, you know, it's a kind of a very subtle, but at the same time you can accumulate, you can have a wonderful, immense kind of profit out of it if we manage to practice. So these are the great practice. Even though you have no money to offer, you have no wealth to, I don't know, no car to offer, or I don't know, whatever donation or all these things, rejoice in the people who are doing it, who are able to do it, who have capability to do it, who have good look, who have good eyes, who have good body, you know, who have, I don't know what, who are very successful. Rejoice in them. If you are not successful, rejoice in them. Wonderful. Why all these are happening? Because of the karma. We have to accept that, you know. So these are the great thing. Anyway, so rejoice is a wonderful, I think, method. You know, always we have to rejoice. Then you accumulated wonderful merit out of it. So that is the fifth one. And then, oh, almost 8 o'clock, sorry. And then the next one is, oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. I can't believe time just flies. Okay, so now let's I think I keep there. Okay, then tomorrow I will continue from here. Today we did until the rejoice, and then next one is requesting the dharma. We'll do tomorrow. We yet to finish the Nolsang part. Okay, now practice. It's shocking, you know. Time, you know, it's a scary thing. Really, we are, you know, until we gathered here, 2 hours, we are getting closer to our death. You know, really, we are stepping towards our, what do you call this? Crematorium, or yeah, place where we would do graveyard. It's just really shocking. Time just flies. I can't believe it's 8 o'clock. I thought we have so much time. Now it's almost 8 o'clock. Only a few minutes. Okay, let's practice without talking much. Continue from the where we left here. What page is it? Lama idang handoi na ba?
Page 70.
70 with the translation?
No, the original transcription.
Okay.
Page 30 with the translation.
Okay, you all are looking at the translation or transcription?
Transcription.
Okay. Page 40, you said? Okay, anyway. Yeah. Doesn't
Page
matter.
30 with the translation. Okay, sorry, I just
lost my text somehow. Doesn't matter. I will just look at my Tibetan. Okay, got it. Now we will do straight, okay, until the end and dedicate. I think I don't want to take much of your time. Lamai damno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurichi Pao kanjono lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurichi Chugyo sumano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi punyale keno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Sangrila namno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Nasinde geno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Jiten kyonwano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Tengela namno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Parginye namno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Ogilo namno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Dane dano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Chetanjam deno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Jitela suno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Sajine dano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Dukila sono lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Goelangano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Malabujino lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Talapen bono lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Nola chupono lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Wayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Rala sermono lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Jingla tsangpano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Phula ke tuno lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Golata yano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Thabla yol mono lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Phula jalano lwayo naya Shinchoti zamen gi sangyurchi Nola tanano lwayo naya Sinchoti Zamen Gi Sangyurji Chula Zolano Loayonai Gi Sangyurji Zella Jolano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamen Gi Sangyurji Zella Golano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamen Gi Nazar Palominor Koshiki Tata Sumano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Takajimeno Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Takobetano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tagen Labluno Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tasuno Haryo Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tazirugano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Zirgeno Loayonam Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tata Zembono Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Talodon Bono Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Taya Zulmono Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Naratumbono Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Sumetam Zeno Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Sumejin Zeno Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Zeno Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tenzinazo no Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tasundu Dangal Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi with the bell. Kiye dasa bolamino gujigi sigi odano loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Kipitinyano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tsueno Yano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Junri Payano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Kipitinyano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Mampesuyano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tapeyu Yano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Chugi Pinyano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Ziki Chuyano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tempe Chuyano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Chukwino Yano Loayonaya Sangyursi Pempeta Yano Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tenchu Benzana Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Shayana Zerda Sahuji Pempe Perkuno Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Tapeno Sunu Loayonaya Sinchoti Zamengi Sangyursi Shinjoti za mengi tu padi tapan yuju yunda kurjigi nyampa sangyurji Shinjoti za mengi tu padi tapan yuju yunda kurjigi setan suna nyampa sangyurji Shinjoti za mengi tu padi Napanguju yanda kurjigi Ajewanta nyampasangu Okay, so this is the last of the Nolsang. We have learned the melody until here. So today we just do this one. It's a short one. This is 2 melodies. So the other one is, I think, quite complicated. The simple one is better for all of you. For time being, we do this one and then we conclude. Yeah. Sing choti sang men ge sang yur chi da tang yu ju yan da ko se gim an da ju gi no da ji gi no sing choti sang men ge sang yur chi chi che par che da se nal bui no sing choti sang men ge sang yur chi Vechin jompo tam nyama chipkinu Shincho chizam engi sangyurchi Tichin tingin jindamutinu Shincho chizam engi sangyurchi Shinpe tursi sonpe namenu Shincho chizam engi sangyurchi Bichen sempa na zenti venu Shincho tizam engi sangyurchi Punyamamita eta luginu Shincho tizam engi sangyurchi Mita dazama lugun Shincho tizam engi tingurchi Jindu gyurji, nide oda jindu gyurji, dawa yarmo jindu gyurji, meto da ton jindu gyurji, ton ke juju jindu chapsi lun po jindu gyurji. Gudu nur bu jindu jung Chugyu nida jindu sal yurji Korban garso tabur kor yurji Nur shu tishi jindu dur yurji Jayam ka jindu kyab yurji Serin me degi dan yurji Loya tuzi donga tongji Tashi dele Okay, so this is the last of Nolsang, and then we have now the nectar offering one letter. So this is also a melody which we can do tomorrow. So now let's do dedication, just the last bit of aspiration of dedication, that one for the pandemic one. So we do together once, and then whatever page, I think I'm looking at my Tibetan text, so you all can. Which page is it? Page 160, yeah. 160, okay. Let's do together. And then today, somehow time over all today. Sorry for that, yeah. Jumden de Jin Shikwa Mulam Dripegel Pol Chaksi Lo Letan Lubrigin Legurbai Dundane Tanjum Petsevaso Simje mi de Namun Jitin Kazu Juara Magure Chidre Shime Chipesi Chajin Gijila Lusim Del Jimbe So trone ki dungi chinge ba jitene gamsu jumaya maguri chida shinje khana jutba tarne ki ming samad be jembe inje bata da perim so ki lu shin gunan par Not begiri don't try juta lubri jo simya juta jiga jin la zobai lushin kula se war maguri Lusim dewa malu joje pe juji chupe dungi chimba malu jiji dan to bengurne tirine me deke dembar Lama concho namgi tujeta, kandu shikyo sume tutota, lejelua me pedin togi, mulam chitarata padrugyurichi. Karma shabji marme tang gyuma silpa chubur tang milam lo chinta buduche shunam teta. Okay, we conclude with that, yeah? And then any question or anything we can discuss tomorrow. Today somehow time just flies. Okay, so then have a good evening, good afternoon, or good morning to all of you. Good day to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Sorry for so much gossip.
Lovely gossip.
Thank you, Ting.
Not at all, my pleasure. Okay,
No
see
gossip.
you tomorrow. Thank you.